All right, guys. So this video will be talking about entry types. Okay, we have the two types of entries, and we have one. The first one we call it the risk entry, which is taking a trade at the top or bottom of a pattern or structure. Okay, the second one is reduced risk entry, which we all call flags. Okay, just flag alone. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of examples on the start on the chart now. But before I do that, I want to let you guys know that risk entry, we use the 1 hour retracement candle to take them. Okay, so using the 1 hour retracement candle to take risk entry, you can see it must be a reversal candlestick pattern. Okay, and also I like the pin bars and also the engulfing. Okay, so it must be a reversal candlestick pattern. So let's use this chart. Let's use EG for an example. Let's focus on this high and also the previous one that already happened. So looking at this high, you can see before price got here, how price rejected, because I was able to take advantage of this trade, and I'll show you guys how it happened. So same thing, we just have to identify high using the ray line, and then we go to lower time frame to see how price is going to approach there. Okay, so we go to 1 hour straight up, and let me see how price played out. Yeah, this is it right here. So we're looking at risk entry, which we all know we are taking the trade at the top of the structure, okay? At the top of the structure, a high or a low, that's what structure means, and also a pattern. It can be any pattern, an ascending or a double top, okay? And we utilize the 1 hour retracement candle when we are doing that. Now you can see how price came to this high right here at this point. Price created a reversal pattern, which is an ascending channel with a nice 1, 2, 3 touch right there, an ascending channel right there on 1 hour time frame. Okay, so now how do we get involved with this trade on the high right here? And looking at the charts, make it bigger. You can see we had what we call pattern within a pattern, which means we had an ascending channel within an ascending channel. You can see how price approached the third touch, 1, 2, 3 for an ascending channel. So that's more like a nice reversal. Okay, so how did we get involved in this trade? We utilize the 1 hour retracement candle right there. Now, 1 hour retracement candle is the candle that is at the high. Let me show you guys. I won't make adjustment because I'm not sure it's at that high right there. So let this just be perfect. Okay, yeah, see for high right here. Okay, so 1 hour. Now you can see. So price broke out actually, but in a corrective way. Okay, so we know it's just going to reverse. Now, which candle did we get to take the trade on? So you can see 1 hour retracement candle is the first, since it's an uptrend, so it has to be the first bearish candle in that zone. Okay, so which one is the first candle? This particular one. Am I going to take the trade with this candle? No. Why? Because it doesn't even meet our confirmation. It's not a candlestick formation there for a reversal. No. So I took the trade off this particular one right here. And why? Because this 1 hour retracement candle is more like a candlestick pattern. The two candles, they are called twins. It's a reversal candlestick pattern. You can see how it's very, very strong because it was able to cover almost the whole body of this candle, almost engulfed it. And immediately after that, taking the risk entry, stop loss will be above your candle. So if you're taking off this candle, your stop loss will be above. So you can set your stop loss above anywhere around here when you are taking it from here. So you have to wait for the candle to close. Immediately the candle close, stop loss above entry and take profit. Remember what I told you guys about an ascending channel. It has to be the 90% through. Okay, so immediately we took that trade from there. What happened? We started to sell off from there. A little bit of correction, and then we started to sell off from there and straight down to your 90% rule, which is exactly here. You just put your ray line there, and you can see price hit that where the reversal pattern started from. That's your ascending channel. That is your 9% rule. Okay, you see how it hits there, boom, and that is our TP got hit, and then we started to have this deep pullback. So once we get 9% hits, we'll be having deep pullback, deep correction. Okay, so that is how you take a risk entry at the high of a structure or a pattern using the 1 hour retracement candle. It's as simple as that. Okay, let's do another example. Okay, we have EU here. Let's look for one trade on EU. 1 hour time frame. Okay, let's just find something. Okay, let's just use this. It's not really a higher time frame high, but let's just assume this right here. This is our high right here. And then we're able to identify that place using the ray line. And then what happened, you can see how price came down here again. And what happened this time around, 1 hour retracement candle. That's your risk entry. You're taking it from the high. So if you took it, immediately the candle closed. I'm going to take it here. Why? Because the candle is a very, very strong candle. There's a powerful candle which shows there's enough selling pressure in the market right now. And stop loss will be where? Stop loss will be above your candle right there. Entry right here. Take profit, the next low right here. Okay? That's more like take profit one. So you can see what happened. What I'm explaining to you guys. Immediately the candle close, that's your entry. Okay, risk entry. Let's see if we find another one. We have this ascending also right here. This ascending channel on EU. Okay, if you want to take a trade from here, this is the last strong bullish candle. So we need more like a strong candle for a rejection. Okay, or me personally, I'll just wait for the breakout, just like what we got here. But the candle for the risk entry is this particular one because it was able to engulf the previous bullish candle. Okay, see it right here. So that was your entry, and then start selling up. But let's see two tops and bottoms or something. Let's look. We have something there, but let's see. Okay, let's just use that one that we just had. Okay, so we have an ascending channel here, which is a reversal pattern, you can see. And a lovely 1, 2, 3 touch. Okay, we are taking it off the pattern and third touch. 1, 2, 3 touch. So can you see how we have a nice engulfing candle? That is our entry. Stop loss will be where above the candle. So at the third touch, 1, 2, 3, we know price tends to reject after the 1, 2, 3 touch to reverse of an ascending channel, and then entries, TP 90% rule right here, TP, and then you can see how this one plays out. So that's how you go about taking a risk entry. And then the other one is reduced risk entry, which is flag. So just in case you miss the risk entry, you miss taking the risk entry at the top or bottom of it. And let's still use this one. Use EU. Let's still use this. If you miss the risk entry, let's still go back to that trade. Let's assume you miss the. You have that trade at all. Okay, yeah. So let's assume you missed the risk entry at the top of this pattern right here. So if you miss the risk entry, what do? You wait for a reduced risk entry, which I say is a flag. So in a situation whereby we are selling, we are looking for a bearish flag. Where did it happen? See your flag right here. You just have to wait for your flag to form. This is it right here. As soon as we have this, we know how to enter this. I usually set entries underneath after the second rejection, 5 pips below, 5 pips below the second rejection. Okay, that's where I said 5 pips below. So I'm going to set a sell stop there. Stop loss will be above flag. TP 90% rule, don't forget, right there at the low. So you can see how this one played out. So remember, it takes this healthy market 6 to 8 hours for a flag to be complete. Okay, so after that, you can see how we started selling off from there. So that's how you trade reduce risk entry. Just wait for a flag. So some people, they don't like taking risk entry, just like me. I don't like risk entry. I'll prefer reduce risk entry anytime. Okay, so it's as easy as that. And let me just give you guys a little bit of example again. So we have this a bearish flag, impulse down, correction, continuation, more like a bearish flag. Okay, to sell off. So in a situation whereby we're having this, we can also take a risk entry inside of a flag. Now, how do we go about that? Watch this. Impulse to the downside, and then we started to correct. No confirm a flag yet until we have the second rejection, which we just did right here. Now we can draw our trend line because we have second rejection already. And then what is now? Price came back down again, then boom. So this is how you go about taking a risk entry on a flag. So you can take a risk entry in a flag using the third touch rejection. Okay, so we have the 1, 2, 3 in this bearish trend. So when price is coming there the third time, that is where you want to take your risk entry from. Okay, so you want to take your risk entry and then say TP, measure this. So your TP have to be, yeah, you understand? So this is your entry right here. This is your risk entry in a pattern. Remember I said we can take risk entry at the bottom of a structure or a pattern, also top or bottom of a structure or a pattern. So this is your risk entry right there at the third touch on in a flat 1, 2, 3 risk entry. So why are you doing that? Because it will help you to get more risk to reward ratio. Because if you enter here, that's your entry, stop loss will be above flag. Okay, see, you're only risking small amount of pips. But if you wait for the breakout 5 pips below the second rejection, just like I said last year, right here, stop loss will still be above flag. Okay, you can see all what you are risking compared to when you take a risk entry. So this will help you with more good risk to reward on your trade. Okay, so hope this video makes sense. See you guys on the next video.